like to link the TV that's here in the studio with my device there so that I could like see all your comments and questions, because Ari is going to be a little bit late today. She will be here, so don't worry, we'll get with you. But I'm not very kind of technically gifted, so I always had it, just wouldn't quite do the last step, so I'm sorry about that. But since we're a little late, a little in a rush, we're going to do a few of our exercises and then going to move into, I'm going to straighten up that camera. Am I straighten there? Is that better? And then we're going to move into some body mechanics for our merengue and just kind of things in general, because it's Friday, so it's a good day for it. The Flair flies, planting your feet on the ground, sticking them to the ground, your toes, the middle of your toes, the balls of your feet, your arches, and your heels all stuck to the ground, roots growing to the ground from your feet. For those of you who are new here, this is our get ready for the day routine. It's kind of a head to toe, get your body moving, get it ready for the day, and slowly build up strength and mobility. And this is the beginner routine, so it's suitable even if you've never done anything like this before in your life, or you haven't for a long time, or you'd like to ease into things. If it's for everybody. And then we jump on again for an intermediate routine right after this. And since this is a dance channel, we always dance at the end, and we can all dance. We are doing the merengue, which everybody can do. All right, let's just breathe in and out. And as you take this next breath in, when you exhale, I want you to fan out your fingers and try and fan your toes too. Even if you don't quite feel that part of your body, imagine it, fan those out. Try and connect your brain to that part of your body. If it's a part of your body you've never used before, it takes some time. It's true with all of us. We have so many different parts that it's absolutely impossible to activate them all, so there's always something new. And wrists waggling back and forth. And then tapping one foot back and forth. Actually, let's start with some body mechanics right here. So remember, you have a square here. These are the 4 points of your square. So I got your lines. Let's take that square and slide it over onto one leg. So you are freeing up this leg. We call it a working leg to work, and this is your supporting leg. So from this working leg, tap back and forth. Try and use your ankle if you can. And from one side to the other, does not have to be a big movement. And put it back down, and sliding that square over on this one. And I want you to feel like it stacks like blocks. So you've freed up your working leg to tap back and forth. And sliding that square back over. So flapping your wrists up and down. And bending just at your elbows. I can't really see your comments from here, and I'm so sorry. I'm hoping that Ari gets here very soon and that she can kind of communicate to me. I'm sure there's a better way to do that. Lifting up your arms, just your elbows, however high they go, like chicken wings. And now your arm. And each time, raising them a little bit higher. And same thing the front, raising a little bit, and then more each time. always kind of habitual stuff. You have to sit down and really I can get really focused, but I've never had somebody kind of step me through things, but I'm super grateful to my dance partner yesterday who patiently showed me at least some basic things on the computer because I'm sometimes been surrounded by people who get impatient with me, but they took the time to show me some things. So shout out to Templat Fusion. Thank you, Carlos, so much. So letting your head pop up and down like a bobblehead at the top of your neck. And shake back and forth. And good morning. Yay! Big hello to Ari. I was trying to cast him on TV, but it didn't work out so well. I feel like I almost got there. Shoulders going up and down. And I want you to kind of freeze your lower body. Feel like it's like a tree trunk, super sturdy. And just your top part. And just going back and forth. Blowing in the breeze. And to the side. Loosening our knees, that is to say, just kind of letting them go, not bending them. So we're just letting them go so not straight, straightening back up again. And after this, we're going to start our first, because the one thing I don't want to neglect is our core. So we're going to start our first set. We're up to sets of 12, so it's 3 sets of 12. And then letting your knees bend just a little bit, but you can also straighten them up. This is really how you're going to be comfortable. And I'm going to feel like tightening your stomach, like, ooh, like a stomach ache. And then as you come up, feel like you're lengthening in your middle. You can put your hand on it if you don't feel it yet. So, tightening and lengthening up. And tightening and lengthening up. And tightening, lengthening up. And tightening, lengthening up. Tightening, lengthening up. Through, more than halfway, and 4, 3, and 2, and lengthen up. Good job, Flair flies. That was the first set. And I don't know if you can flip the camera midstream, probably not. I don't know, never done it. We can see how it's done. So today we're going to move through a little bit quicker so we can do some body mechanics. So putting your hands behind your head, and we're just going to bend down a little bit, letting your hips go, and in that same lengthening to come up. Thanks, Billy. And back up. You're doing them there. And again, I would let your knees loosen a little bit. You want to have a nice sturdy base here. So you're right in your balance. And this time letting more of your body go. There's kind of the lower part here. Shoulder rolls because we were talking about that on Wednesday. So just bend them forward. And we're going to roll them back. And I want you to feel when you roll them back, it's like somebody's pulling chest up a little bit as they roll back. And as you go about your day, every time you think about it, just every so often, think of shoulders. You give them a roll back. Put your chest up like you're feeling proud, and slowly but surely that will get muscle memory going. And this is something you can turn into a habit. You can do a lot with your posture, anytime, any age. And it's something that's very good to think about because just the natural process is, if it's something we don't think about, our shoulders have this natural inclination. They want to kind of meet in the middle. So we want to fight that by, whenever you think about it, rolling your shoulders back, just pulling them back, and think about that posture. And over time, the more you think about it, the more it'll become a habit. So that's something you can do at any time of day. Okay, so let's see what I wanted to do next. So bending your knees a little bit. And this is a very light bend. And again, you're feeling very sturdy. And I want us to swing back and forth like a bell. So it's a little bit like your hips are kind of slide back and forth. And just kind of feel yourself swinging. This is more in the realm of body mechanics. This is a part we want to activate. This is just the first step in it. And coming back to the middle. Let's do our second set, get that over with. So, feeling a tightening here, and a lengthening, and tightening. And each time, think about lengthening it. It's not just doing the exercise, think about how you do it. It's gonna feel like stomach ache, and then lengthening up, lengthening up, and stomach, and lengthening, stomach, and lengthening. I think we're at 7, 5, and 4, lengthening, and 3. Maybe put your hand on if you want to feel it a little bit better. And 2, and 1. Good job. Alright, so we can lean back a little, stretch that out. You're looking at the sky with your whole body. Alright, here let's put one leg in front of the other. So we're going to take our square, we're going to shift it onto our front leg. And you want to feel a little pull in the lower part of your back leg. I like to slowly go up and down, but super slow. So this is more fascia that we're doing in the mornings, getting that organ that's just under your skin moving. So you need to warm that up, or you should before you go into deeper muscle work. Pushing into the ground with this foot, and let's switch toes. Other foot front, and you're shifting. You're square over your front foot, shifting your body weight over. So you're getting more stretch in the back leg. Pushing into the ground, come up. And so, tightening your legs, feeling them engage, just like tighten them up. And then we're going to bend. And as you bend, I want you to feel that your knees are going straight over your feet. So our knees only move in one direction, or should only move in one direction. Although I've seen people who tightening and knees over your feet who can move them in extraordinary directions, but that's really the exception rather than the rule. And now on your leg, as you're coming up, I want you to push into the ground, like you're pushing the ground away from you, engaging your legs, knees over your toes, pushing to the ground, engaging your legs, knees over your toes, and pushing to the ground. And give it a good shake out. And leaning over, and we're going to lean over, and as far as you go. Now, for many things can modify, you can do more, you can do less. It's about you and your body because we're all different. And once I sat here, I gravity pull you down a little, and then we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, try and go a little bit lower. And then we sit here for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling. And as you exhale, try and go a little bit lower. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling. And one very last one. Lower. And as you come up, pushing into the ground, we're going to go very slowly because if your head's down, you want to give yourself a little time to recover. Just as you come up. And finish with one more roll back. And a little shake. Now we're going to do the last set. And then we're done for the week. So that's how tighten your stomach. So like you've got a stomach pain and then lengthen, come up. 1. Tightening, lengthening, and 2. Tightening, and 3. Lengthening, and tightening, and lengthening. 4. Tightening, and lengthening. 5. Tightening, and lengthening. 6. Lengthening. 6. Now count down. Tightening and lengthening. 5. Tightening and lengthening. 4. Tightening and lengthening. 3. Tightening and lengthening. 2. Tightening and lengthening. Is that 1? I think so. Yes. All right. We're done for the day. Let's lean, this is our lean backs, just to stretch in the other direction now. Like you're tilting back, but your whole body's tilting back, not just your head and upper body, like your stomach is tilting you back to look at the sky, come back. Looking at the sky, come back. And looking at the sky, go back. Looking at the sky, go back. Good. Another shake out. And bring our knees again. So tightening up your legs. And this is as deep as you can go. Say without losing control of your body, tightening your legs. And your knees are going straight over your feet. And then you're pushing the ground. Come back up again. Tighten your legs. Straight over your feet, pushing to the ground, tightening your legs, knees going over your feet, pushing into the ground, tightening your legs, over your feet, and pushing into the ground, come up, give them a shake out if you need. A little late today because I was trying to figure out the technical elements and it didn't quite work out for me, but I am going to learn that for the next time. Okay, so as we're coming here, as if we're going to do a little more body mechanics today because it's Friday. So I want us to think about where our body weight is being carried. So for this exercise, I want you to be aware of where your weight is. So it's usually just kind of in the middle of your feet. If anything, it's more in your heels. But what we're going to do now, I want you to feel like somebody is tipping you forward from behind, but you're not leaning forward with your body. So our hinge here is something different. It's like your whole body is staying straight, but you're feeling yourself. Shift your weight towards so it's on the balls of your feet. So you're shifting it forward a little bit. So I just want you to feel that your heels are a little bit more free, a little less of the burden of carrying your body, the balls of your feet. And then we're going to go back to our normal position. So over our whole feet. feeling that little push forward, so you're shifting your square onto the balls of your feet. If I was going to exaggerate, I would pick up my heels a little bit to see where my weight is. But you don't have to do that, it's just put your weight forward a little bit, and then you're going to let it settle back in your natural position. So it's almost like you're, sorry, I can't shake, can't shake that flu. So moving over to the balls of your feet and coming back, and leaning towards the balls of your feet, and coming back. I just want you to kind of remember that feeling, shake it out a little. And now we're going to, taking a nice sturdy stance again, gluing your whole foot to the floor. And again, we're going to tighten our knees a little, move down, and then pushing the ground to come back up. And now you're just going to feel like it's a looser. You don't have to tighten them up for this one. So you're going to go down to the middle. And when you're pushing to the ground, I want you to push with, I'm going to start with our left leg today. Pushing to the ground with your left leg. And shift your square towards your right. And then you're going to go back down into the middle. This time pushing with your right leg. And pushing up. So it's like a little diagonal towards your right. And bending to the middle. Pushing the ground with your left. And coming up on a diagonal. You can't quite get up, you can move them closer together. But you just want to be nice and sturdy, coming down towards the middle. Pressing with your right. In you go. And down in the middle. Pressing with your right to come up to your left. And coming back down to the middle. And pressing with your left to come up to your right. And let's just sit in the middle. Pressing the ground with both feet to come up. So this is, and shake it out here. This is something that we are going to be using that when we're moving on to one foot. There are many occasions where, so we have a weight shift where we'll move it, we'll kind of slide our square over, and then we'll have other times when we're coming up kind of at a diagonal. So this is important in a lot of movements that we are indeed going to do later on. But I want you to get that feeling. It's almost like bouncing a ball though, going down the middle, coming up. So that's just what I want you to think about, I want you to remember from that. So putting your weight in the middle, but one foot slightly forward. I'm going to bend both knees. Remember they're going right over your feet, but this one is a little stretch for your back leg. So you want your weight a little more on the leg that you're stretching. Going back up. We're going to switch this over. And your weight is more on your back foot. Your knees are right over your feet. We're feeling a stretch. And your back. Pushing to the ground to come back up. All right, so something we've been doing this week is our elbows. So thighs. Now when you're lifting your arms, you're not actually lifting your arms, you're trying to relax everything and pretend that the only thing that can move in your whole arm is your elbow. So I want you to take those elbows and just lift them up, and then you can let them drop. Lifting them, letting them drop, and lifting them, and letting them drop, lifting, and letting them drop. Now, how much you can pick them up depends on you. I want you to feel just like these are two noodles, and say you're hooking them with a fork in the middle, and your elbows are coming up and back down. Now, why is this important? Later on, we're going to be using our arms to dance, and a lot of movements, I call it the part of your body that leads a movement, because you can do what's essentially the same movement, so you can lift your arm up. So I can lift my arm up, and I can use my hand to lead that, so that would look like that. So there's a kind of a difference there. I can use my elbow to lead it. There's a difference. So a lot of our movements, we want to think about what part of the body is driving the movement. So that is what that one is for. Okay, because I'm a big fan of our square here. These four corners, if you're just joining, pretend these are four corners, your hips are two, and your top two corners are, I always call it a square. I mean, it's more of a rectangle, usually, I don't know. But these are the top corners, and you don't want to get this square out of shape. You don't want it to tilt. You don't want the bottom half to tilt. You don't want one half to get away from the other. You want everything, the square, just to stay exactly where it is. And if you want to move it to the side, you're going to be sliding it. Pretend there's a flat surface right under the bottom two corners, and you're going to slide it along that surface to move it. So bending your knees a little to give yourself some more mobility there. And starting left again today. Pressing the ground with your left foot, and slide that square right across that flat surface. So more of your weight is on your left leg. And then, I'm sorry, did I say, okay, you want to press into the ground with your right leg. Just shift to your left. And then pressing into the ground with your left leg. And you're going to slide that square right across. So it's more on your right leg. And then pushing the ground with your right leg, sliding across to your left. It's not really important which foot you start on. I just try to mix it up a little, so we're not always starting with one foot. It's good for our brains. Pressing the ground with your left, and sliding it back over your right foot. Okay, sliding to the middle, back up, give it a shake out. So why is this important? Because the squares can help us with our balance. When you're coming over one foot, let's do that very slowly. So you're in the middle. And this time I want you to slide that whole square over one leg. Feeling your body stacking like a tower of blocks. So it's all your blocks are stacked over one leg. So this is for our balance. So if you need to, this foot is free. And this foot can go up a stair, it can take a step in any direction, or it can balance. So if you're feeling saucy, and then you can slide it into you, but keeping your square still over this leg, and test yourself right here. And then slide it back out. Shift your square, slide it to the middle, come back up, and shake it out. And we're going to do that same thing. So, lowering down, remember your square. So you're going to shift that whole square over your left leg, stacking your body over that leg like a tower of blocks. So it's all over that leg. It's stacked. And this leg here. You can try moving it back and forth. You can test a little here. Or you can slide it in, but you keeping your tower of blocks over the leg you're standing on. And test yourself there. And sliding it back out. And sliding your square again across that flat surface. And pressing into the ground to come up and shaking it out. So all of these things are, dance is something that requires a lot of repetition, and things come gradually. So the way I teach, I like to break things down. There are teachers who do things differently. They'll go right into steps and and teach you steps, but I'm somebody who I like to know exactly how to do something because otherwise it confuses me a lot of the time. So I like to break everything down into pieces because, you know, again, when you're dancing, there are so many parts that are moving. You can't think about all of them at the same time. So we try to concentrate on one thing at a time, and when that gets into our muscle memory, so we're feeling a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more like it's an automatic movement, then that's one less thing to think about. Hi, Melody. Hi. How are you liking the body mechanics? And that will give us less to think about. We can move on to a new part, a new movement, and add that in. And those components eventually become a whole. So if you're somebody who's like, oh no, I can't dance, I've never danced, this is a good way to learn it because you are developing each part separately, and at a certain point we're gonna bring it all together. And we're doing a dance that everybody can do. So we've been learning merengue, which is stepping from foot to foot. That's just kind of marching in place, marching forwards, marching backwards. And while we've been doing it, we've been starting various other things. So we've been walking and trying to move our arms at a different time. So we're trying to keep our arms independent of our legs. So just keep, the most important thing in Latin dance is to keep your feet going, keep that rhythm going. So we're just walking. If you get off the music, don't worry about it. You're in solidarity with a lot of the room, a big percentage of the room. So you just keep going. You can catch the beat again, or you just keep going and smile and own it. So we're trying to move our arms just kind of independently of our legs and putting them on our hips. And today we're going to try moving one up. So we're just going to move one up, back to your hip, with the other up to your hip. I'm not doing that today. So you're going to give a little wave if you want. This is a fun dance. This is a social dance. This is at socials when somebody's birthday or something, very often we'll put on a merengue. A lot of people, there are socials just for merengue where people are just dancing merengue with partners, solo, however you want to do it. We've also been turning in a circle. So with that, you're just rotating in place. If you want to be really technical, and this is something that we will be doing later on when we're turning more, is each time you step. So if I'm turning to my right, I'm turning my right foot out a little bit so the toes are going to point out to the side. And then I'm going to step with my left foot to meet it, and now my feet are parallel. I'm going to turn a little more and be stepping with my right foot, and then my left will come to meet it and then parallel again. But don't worry about that. Don't think too much. We're just going to be rotating in a circle. And today we're going to be waving a little bit. And that's it. Let's do one more thing. So normally we do our weight shift. In the beginning, we're just going to shift our weight from side to side without the music. We're just going to feel our weight go from one foot to the other. And today I want us to come back to the exercise we did before, where we're kind of swinging like a bell. So don't worry about your square here. Just feel like your body's moving from side to side, like the clapper of a bell. And we're going to do that slowly. And then we're going to shift our weight slowly from side to side. And then we're going to do a merengue with our arms, I'll call it out, with our hand coming up and all that good stuff. So let's hit the music, and we're going to start with our bell exercise. So you're swinging from side to side. one leg to the other. Okay, let's go into our merengue. What's fast today? Anybody want to slow it down? Where are we? No? Don't need to slow it down? Alright. Alright, it's coming up. And down again. Yes. And circle. Rotating in place. And arm coming up. Back to your head. Other arm coming up. Back to your head. And going forward. Forward again. Backward again. Alright, put one hand up. Rotate the hand up. Alright, my Flair flies. Nothing like a dance party first thing in the morning. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We're here for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Usually at 6, but sometimes we get delayed. And it's a head to toe get ready for the day routine. And it's because this is a dance channel, we always dance at the end of it. So my Flair flies, I wish you a wonderful weekend. And we're going to be hopping on again for lives. We have our choreography workshop. Even if you don't feel ready for that, come join us, have a look, and you know, it's just good to absorb some of that because later on maybe you will want to join. And we just like to have fun. Thank you for being a part of this, and thank you for being here. We're going to hop right back on again for our intermediate get ready for the day routine. And I will see you very soon. My Flair flies, my love to all of you. Bye-bye.